there's this new term called AI dumping. And essentially, what it means, and again, I'm not Scott Holloway or anything like that, but the way I understand it is that China will use these models to essentially neutralize the value of all other models. And the sheer amount of investment that like OpenAI and Claude and some of the others are making, if all of a sudden China comes out with a model that's better and it's free, all that money goes to waste, right? And theoretically, it's kind of the whole cheaper labor, outsourcing everything to China all over just with AI. And it could really hurt our economy. So I think there's some funny business going on there. I think the models here are fine and good and dandy and a hell of a lot more trustworthy. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy how quickly that stuff happens. And I guess it's like a whole 10% better than Fable too on its benchmarking.
So what does that mean exactly? Because they're even thinking about like ChatGPT versus Claude or whatever. Like, what does better mean, and how are people really measuring what that is? Because obviously, something being more cost effective is going to be appealing to people anyways. Like, obviously, the cost of this is very expensive, whether you're just like a regular user or you're a company who is like using AI and you have all the costs of all these things to run everything. But what does like better mean?
Yeah, so there's specific benchmarking tests for specific tasks. And the one, I forget what it's called, but the one that Kimi is winning is like the coding challenge, which is like the number one use case right now. It's like where people are throwing far amounts of money at winning this AI race because if you solve coding, you can theoretically solve every problem because you can just create anything, right? And that's like getting AI to do coding first wasn't random. It was like the number one roadmap initiative because they knew whoever fixes coding can fix anything else. So that's kind of used as the North Star in terms of benchmarking these models. But like generally speaking, without getting all nerdy on it, like there are better models for particular things, right? So certain things are just going to be better with GPT. I was on a podcast recently with some awesome people. I don't know when this is going to air, but some awesome people in the space. And she was saying how she uses GPT for like design, right? Like, and we do too. Whenever we want to mock up the backyard, we'll use GPT because it's just better at doing that, right? They proactively train their model to be better on that, where Anthropic is like, we're better at work, co-work, coding, et cetera. So it's a long-winded way of saying like each model has its strengths.